Okay, let's move on to Monday, December 13th, the Monday Nighter, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Rams, 8-4, 4-2 on the road to the Arizona Cardinals, 10-2, 3-2 at home. We're at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Move over this to the cash flow. Here we go. The Cardinals open up at -3 at +104. That's moved to 2.5. If you still want the Cardinals at -3, you get huge plus lines beside it. This total opened up at 52. We've seen it drop to 51.5 at a couple different books. We have 2,156 tickets in, 73% of the tickets on the Cardinals, 68% of cash on the Cardinals. 61% of tickets on the over, 63% of cash on the over. Rams snapped their 3-game losing streak with an easy 37-7 victory over the Jags. Stafford 26-38 for 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Cooper Kupp continued his monster season, 8 catches for 129 yards. Shout out to Sharpie, who got paid on that again as well, on the Cooper Kupp yards over. OBJ, first game at SoFi as a Ram, caught 2 passes for 28 yards and a touchdown. Darrell Henderson injured. Sony Michel ran 24 times for 121 yards and a touchdown. Also, Von Miller's first game at SoFi as a member of the Rams. He had 1 tackle for a loss, but he drew a lot of blockers and opened things up for other players. Jalen Ramsey made 3 tackles against his former team, recovered a fumble forced by Aaron Donald on the opening drive. The defense held the Jags to just 197 total yards, 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. Center Brian Allen injured his knee on the first snap from scrimmage, didn't return. I'm going to get an update on him, but Coleman Shelton took over in his first NFL action in 2 years and played well. Allen has a sprained MCL, is considered day-to-day. And David Long Jr. was inactive and is listed as questionable this week. Cardinals come in off a 33-22 win at Chicago with Kyler Murray back under center. Cardinals coming off a bye, improved to 7-0 on the road with each win coming by 10 points or more. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Murray was 11-15 for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also ran 10 times for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. James Conner ran 20 times for 75 yards, led receivers with 2 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins returned from injury, 2 catches, 32 yards, and a touchdown. They have the NFL's best record. Their defense just intercepted Andy Dalton 4 times, had 3 sacks, and 6 quarterback hits. Let's just quickly go over their injuries here, and they have almost none. It's unbelievable. They expect Chase Edmonds to come back. James Wiggin was placed on injured reserve the day before the game, one of their safeties. They don't have Justin Pugh, a guard. They're a healthy squad, and they are a dangerous squad. Take it away here, Bebsie. Monday Nighter, Rams Cardinals.
I want to fade the Cardinals here because I have said all year long, and I will die on this hill, that the Arizona Cardinals are not as good. They've been extremely lucky. If you go back and look at all their games, break down these wins, now I'm not saying they're not a good team. And a lot of people will jump on that and be like, if you go back and look at these games, situationally, they've gotten very lucky as this team has climbed to this 10-2 record. Now, the reason why I don't want to back the Rams is Matt Stafford is 9-70 in his career facing teams with a winning record. 9-70. I get that he's on the Rams now, and they're a different team than this abysmal Lions franchise that he's played most of his career for. But 9-70 is too much. I can't back either team in this situation. I do think the Rams are in a good spot to win this game. But I can't back Stafford, and I don't believe in the Cardinals.
Dennis Garcia is on the Rams +3 -120 and the over 51.5. Says Rams have more talent and got whipped by Arizona the first time. It's a very easy play. Turnsey says, what's 9-70? Matt Stafford going up against teams with winning records in his career.
Yeah. Matt Stafford's record versus teams with a winning record throughout his career is 9 wins and 70 losses. And I know that he's a Lion, but that's still terrible.
Ja Island says Rams have more high-end talent. Cardinals are the better team, more deep, more complete. Let's take another look at this. So it's moved to 2.5. So we've lost the threes, although Dennis got his 3. 27% of the tickets, 32% of the cash. You know, I'm very curious to see if I'd be very, very curious to see if the public starts hammering this Cardinal spot, because 73% this is the third straight game where we have, now it's not as blatant as the Buccaneers and the Packers, but it's the third straight game where you have a ticket count over 73% and the market moving towards the opposition to make it, everything, the market is screaming at us that the Rams are the play here. Screaming at us. Dennis Garcia says, "Oh yeah, you can't trust Stafford, but I trust the Rams in this one game."
I mean, I agree with Dennis, but you see why this is a conundrum for me. I want to back the Rams. I just can't back Stafford until that evens out a little bit.
So when I go back to what's been working for me the last 6 weeks is just trying to milk every last little bit of angles and ideas and feelings from you guys, and then sitting here for the next 4 hours staring at these spots. And at this point, this is probably the least amount of for sure moves I'm going to make, but I'm uncomfortable with a side here. What do you think about this total, Bebsie?
Hold on 1 second. Here's some more food for thought, because a lot of people they were talking about the Jags as a get right spot, and I get it. They're a bad team, and it should have been a get right spot. But over the last 5 weeks, the Detroit Lions have a better record than the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, they do. And I was certain it was a get right spot for the defense. I wasn't sold. I was on the under, and I was on the Jags team total under. DX Filer says he'll likely tease the Rams. So let's go back to this total quickly, Bebsie. If you had a free bet on it at 51.5, do you go over or under?
I can see this ended up being a bit of a dogfight. So if I had a free bet, I'd take the under in this. Again, not trusting the Rams, not thinking the Cardinals are as good as. And look, the Rams defense is obviously still very excellent here, but I think this is an under all the way.
And it's another one of those spots where you have the public betting the over early, and the books making it even more appealing to bet the over. This is a. I didn't realize when I was capping how hard this card was going to be.
I'm going to move on this under, actually. I just think a Monday night matchup, divisional, this late in the year, I'm going to side with Ron Crawford on this, and I'm going to go under.
And Toite Latte.
And Toite Latte.
But Harold Williams on the other side with the over. Let's see what we can get you line shopping. I'd be curious to see what Circa's doing in this crazy book. Let me just move back over to football here. And on the Monday nighter, they're hanging a 52 for you. I thought they just might.
Ooh, doctor.
So is Pinnacle at minus 111, Will Hill at minus 110, but Circa hanging the 52 at minus 109. So we'll give you that under. So Bebsie under 52.
Circa's been kind this evening.
Circa's just a good book, unless you are, making big bets. There you go, Bebsie. I think this under is very, very appealing. And that's a huge amount of, I guess not a huge amount of points. I guess you can't say a huge amount of points unless you're, you cross that 54 barrier, but it's a big total of 52.
Look, I agree with the X-Filers point there as well. I can't back Stafford in this situation because also, in spite of what I've said about his record against teams with a winning record, and the fact that they over the last 5 weeks have been worse than the Detroit Lions, I also don't know how healthy Stafford is. He seems to have played better against a brutal Jacksonville Jaguars team, but does that mean he's healthy? I don't think so. I think he's probably still battling injury.
DX Father says one angle not touched on yet is the coaching in the divisional rematch. Trust McVay far more than Kingsbury.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And, if I was back in the Rams, I would absolutely use that argument to load up on it. And I do want to back the Rams. I know I've said a lot of shit about them, and my gut says the Rams. But I have my reasons for staying off them.
Whew. Wow. This is very, 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 very interesting. I can't wait to sit here all night with this card.